The United States tips its hat to multilateralism to the extent that it still is engaged in the UN. This was during the Biden administration, but it used its veto power as one of the permanent members of the Security Council to veto multiple times ceasefire resolutions for Gaza to end the genocide in Gaza, the mass killing spree by the US-backed Israeli government. We see this over and over again, where the U.S. actually is premised, its policy is premised on might makes right. Remember, for all of us, when China had its revolution, the United States evicted the People's Republic of China for more than 20 years from the United Nations, all at the same time giving lip service to multilateralism and the world community and ending the scourge of war. Mm-hmm. I think also, if we're realistic, whenever the world turns against a U.S. act of military intervention or aggression, like the Iraq War or the Yugoslav War, the U.S. basically turns its back on the United Nations and says, oh, we don't need the United Nations, we'll use NATO or some other sort of U.S.-led military alliance that will be a substitute for multilateralism. But I think what China's trying to do is say the world really could live together. It benefits from cooperation. Climate change by itself requires cooperation everywhere, including in the biggest economies. So that would mean the United States and China. Again, the United States is ripping up the tenets of the UN Charter, even as it still remains a member, withdrawing from the World Health Organization, defunding the UN Work and Relief Agency for Gaza, many other institutions as well as pulling out of the Paris Climate Treaty. So the U.S. is basically trashing the idea of multilateralism with the fantasy that the U.S. can be a unipolar power, but I don't think that will actually succeed. I think it is a fantasy.